Okay, just getting all set up here. So I am in beautiful Birds and Treetop Treasures. It's a tongue twister, isn't it? Stick with me till the end. I'm going to put a few little finishing touches on this, but I've got to get through it first. Somebody had requested that I go ahead and show you how I finish off the page. So, when looking at this, you might say, well, how do you know what colors? Because, yeah, that orangey red looks good, but how do you know that? And I would say to that, color wheel. So I used a blue, right? Then I used green. So I put the orange arrows on the blue and the green, and it's almost this green, but it's got some of those blue greens in it, so I moved it over one. And when you line up those, then the other arrow is going to come down here, and it's going to show that it's the orangey red. Okay? So that's why I love this particular color wheel, because I can also put it on top and look at my greens and see that, yes, they do match here more than they match over here. And yes, my blues are these blues. Okay, so I have picked some oranges that are in this family right here. All right, which one specifically? Good question. I'm so glad you've asked. So, all right, now I have to remember to go back smaller again in a bit, but I want that to be where you can see. There you go. Now you can see all my little mistakes and errors, and I get my shadow out of the way. I did go back to Prismacolor still. For my lightest shade, I have pulled 1013, which is Deco Peach. Okay, this is one of them that I bought separate, so just a light pinky peach. And if you can see on there, I've already gone through and done one coat on all of this. Okay, and then I also did a coat on, can't get it all in, okay, on this right here. Okay, just did all around the front and right here on these. Okay, then we're just going to go ahead and finish these while I've got it here. Then my next shade I picked was 921, which is pale vermilion. And all I'm going to do is come in here and get these V's. I know I'm back in my, you're in the shadows again. There you go. I have still got to come up with a better lighting system, because when I do the lamp on my table, it still doesn't do just great for y'all. Okay, so there's that. And then I also am going to hit down in these V's. Okay. Do you see how these go up and down? But yet my flower comes up some. So I'm going to make this come up some to follow the edge. All right. My next shade is Poppy, I believe. Yeah, Poppy Red 992. And I'm going to stick just a bit of that right there at the tips, just to deepen that up right there. Don't need a lot of it, just enough to really tuck it under. Then I'm going to come back with my original color and I'm going to blend. That's how simple those are. Now again, stick with me till the end, because I'm going to do something at the end here with some other pens. And see, I'm just blending that. That's really going to add another bit of depth with the pens to the picture. Do you have to do it? Oh, your picture, you do what you want. Okay, and that's all I did with that. Okay, let's see if this light helps. So now back over to this. All right, so I did the Deco Peach all over. And if you missed the birds, go back, look in my my channel at the videos, because I did do the birds on a video. I did not do the leaves, but I did tell you the colors, and I'm going to do some of them in this video. All right, so now then, this is that pale vermilion 921. I'm just going to come right up through here and get the edges. Fade out. Fade out as you come out. Just makes a little bit more depth in your flowers by using a darker shade there. Okay? And that's all there is to doing those right there. Okay? Then when you're doing these, normally we'd say around the edge here you go a little darker, but do you see how this line crosses over this and this? So I'm going to go on that side of the line so that those look like they're tucked underneath and that this is on top. Okay, this leaf is on top, so I'll do it under the edge of that. Then we have here and here. Here's another line that goes over the top, and here's one. Then I'm going to do that center just a little bit. So here, here, just go around and do all of these so that you can make them look like they are layered. I'm not coloring just a whole lot on that, just enough to scoot some color down in there. But look for those lines, see which ones are on top, which ones are on bottom, and then you're going right under so that you're going on what's on the bottom. And see here, this is tucked under, it's tucked under here, right? Oops, yeah, you're right, I missed this one. Fern, I could almost hear you yelling, Pam, you missed one. Yeah. Thank you. I need my friends whispering in my ear. Okay, so we've done all those. Then because I don't want it just kind of flat looking like that, I'm going to come in now with Poppy Red 922. Okay, and again, these are all Prismacolor. This is the Prismacolor Premieres. Looking for those little areas that are tucked back in there. Because it's really not going to take just a whole lot, y'all. Just a little bit here and there. Because once we start blending and that color starts seeping out and around, it's going to spread, and a little bit's going to go a long ways. Plus, you can always add more if you feel like you need to. Don't make it hard. Don't make it difficult. Just scoot your color in there. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more in there just to help that center look a little bit more pushed back in there. All right. I can also take this and do just the inner tips, the inner little V's, just right at the V. Not anything real strong, just a little presence, just being there. And then if needed, I have Crimson Lake 925. Now this is just ever so slightly in the centers, in those little corner areas. Okay? And I put this just in that center area. You can't see it a whole lot, but it'll be there. And that's the thing about coloring, you know, sometimes you're like, well, I don't really see the difference. Good. That means you've blended well. And I'm going back to my first color. Okay? That Deco Peach. When you can't really see that there's that much of a color, then you've done pretty good with your blending. Because the thing is, if you didn't do it, it would still be okay, but because you did add that little bit of extra, you have a little pop, a little bit of depth in your page that would not be missed, but because it's there, your page is all the better for it. Okay? Now here's where we're spreading that out some. Just spreading that out, just getting all of that colored. And if you don't have enough color in there, come back, pick some more, pop it in there, give it a little bit more punch. But see how that just pulls right out? Because we want these pretty pale. I want them to look like they've been kissed by the light. I don't want them dark and deep. My birds are pretty dark and deep, so I needed my flowers to be lighter. Now, I did not bring gel pens in here with me. I will be grabbing a orange or yellow gel pen and be putting centers in these flowers. In fact, I will probably grab yellow. And then, let's see what else. Then the dots around here, I don't know. Pick a color that's going to go good with everything else that's going on. Then a green gel pen for all these little green marks. Okay? Use your gel pens if you've got them. I'm using the glitter ones. It's really the only ones that I have kept in my repertoire, so to speak. All right, then the leaves. My base color is light green. That's Prismacolor 920. And you can see I came in and I did here. Okay, and I did different areas on different leaves, but that's what that color is. My next color that I'm going to use is Parrot Green. That's number 10 something, 06 maybe. Sorry, don't know. I need to put a sticker on that. I need to look it up and sticker it. So, and I've done several of them in that. I went all the way around all these little bits with this color. And then came in. Same thing here. Then I'm going to use this color also up here on the light one. And I'm just kind of pulling that color out. Okay, touch the page, lift as you pull out. It almost self-blends. These two colors go very well together. They play nicely. Okay, so there's that. Then my third green that you're seeing, like down in here and stuff, that is Peacock Green. It has blue undertones. Now, a lot of times we say, oh, well, does that green have blue or red in it? Does that blue have red or green in it? Does it have some purple in it? So the green, this one, has some blue undertones. It's Peacock Green. It's 907. And what that means is whenever I color it here, it's got a hint of blue in the background. See how that just exudes a little bit of blue? That's why we say it has blue in it. And we know blue is in green anyway because yellow and blue make green, but it just means it's got a little bit more blue in it than, say, this green, and it has yellow undertones. Okay? Maybe we'll do a video sometime about undertones. But anyway, that is that. Okay? Now, if you've stuck with me, I want to show you what else we can do. I don't think I've ever used this on camera before. This is a Faber-Castell Pit White number 101 pen. Now, see there? So I've got that pulled, and then I have a blue and I have a green. Now, because we're not quite sure on the color, I'm going to come over here to something that's colored. See how bright that is? So that's almost too bright to use. I really want an orange, but I just haven't bought one yet. That blue would go okay. On the wings, yeah. And then this white will be good. So what I'm going to do is after I buy a orange one, I'm going to come along and dot around the edges, okay? The green, I guess that green is going to be okay for some. We're going to go ahead and use it. So here's with these pens what you can do. See, it's not really showing up much there, but because I did it on one, I'm going to go ahead and do it on the others. So that tells me what it would show up on is this other green. And it's just barely showing up, but it is showing up. So I went around the outside. Now, do you see how I'm skipping around, and what I do on one, I go ahead and do on all of them. That way I don't forget where I'm at. And this right here is not making as big of a difference as if I'd had a nice dark green pen. I don't own all the different colors on these, so I use what I've got. But I could come like right down the middle, or let's go say to the outside or to the left side of that stem. My left, I know, upside down. But just keep it equal. Whatever you do on one, do on all of them, and make sure you're keeping your hand out of it. Keep your hand out of the middle area because that's going to be wet for a bit. All right, the blue pen, how does that work? I'm going to take this blue, I'm going to go ahead and shrink you a little bit. There you go. Let's see if it makes a difference. Oh yeah. And I'm not even really paying attention to where in there I dotted. I just took off dotting. So I may hit every one of those little spaces. I may hit inside some of them. I may not on all of them. On that one I did. I purposely. Okay, so just come around. I'm going to have to move this. And I suggest you move yours too. Notice I started on the inside and I have slowly worked my way to the outside. Let me come over and do this one too. So when you're doing anything like this, and you know you might lose your place on where you're at, do it in order. You did it on one, go ahead and do it on all of them, because you really don't want to lose your place and then find out when you're showing it to somebody that, oops, guess what, I missed one. See, I'm going up one side, then I'll do the other side. So I did it there, so I'm going to do it on all of these. And it's not a huge thing, but it just gives that little bit of extra punch of color. Now when I do something that's like a V like this, I do try to put one in the top center. Okay, let me show you what else we've got. This white one. Let's see. I could come in and do the tip. The tip of each one, why not? Just something to help break all that up. Okay? And I could go all along that if I wanted to. And I would do the same thing on the others. This right here. Okay? So just find things, and I'm going to go ahead and do it here instead of waiting until I buy an orange pen. So yeah, this is a Pitt pen, P-I-T-T, from Faber-Castell. This one was actually bought online on Amazon. So yeah, really, really easy to come by. They do work like a regular paint pen in that it can be scratched off if there's any reason that you would want to. And you push and prime it just like any other pen that's a paint one. All right. Oh, and see, I almost forgot the flowers. Again, that's why normally I would go around and do. Plus, I'm going to start putting my hand in if I go all inside again. So really be careful where you're putting your hand and make sure you're doing the same thing all the way around. But you can tell how different it looks just by adding just that little bit of pop. It's nothing huge, just a little bit. Okay? Now I don't know if that's upside down to y'all or upright to y'all. Upside down. So don't get sick, I'm gonna spin it. All right. So hang on just a minute. Okay, so I'm back. Yeah, I know you didn't miss me. So the yellow, I went and got just a gel pen. This one is actually by Sergeant Art. They had sent me some long time ago. And it's yellow with glitter in it. Really trying to go ahead and do this and stay out of the centers or off my hand off the page. So this is why usually This is the last thing I do on a page, and I generally do it before going to bed so that I walk away from it and don't mess it up. You could do a background if you wanted. You could use, you could do some blue and white, like clouds and stuff, or whatever you want. Now I'm going to see how this looks. This will be make it or break it. Oh yeah, see, that's silver. It's going to take me a while to do all of these. But this is a metallic, it's not a glitter. So it is very shiny when the light hits it. And I should not be doing it standing up because I'm going to get sloppy. I am going to leave that pen pulled. And then one more